A very warm welcome to you this Saturday morning. I'm Olivia. So today I'd like to share with you the wonders of the Thermomix, our kitchen robot. Okay, are you ready? If you're ready, type in the chat. Yes, I'm ready. Okay. All right, I'll just take this here. Okay. So welcome to your Thermomix cooking show. Okay, and I'm Olivia here. I've been with Thermomix Malaysia for 8 years now, and it's been a wonderful journey. And I've been a user for also 8 years. Okay, and a lot of I've done a lot of cooking. Okay, and a lot of recipes to share with you today. So, all right. So, what's important to you when cooking? Okay, can you type in the chat if you think it's healthy cooking is important to you? Okay, you can type yes. All right. Easy. We want quick and easy meals, of course, because we're busy with our day to day being a mother. Maybe you're working from home or working at work. So juggling between motherhood and work. So of course we want our meals to be quick and easy, and of course creative. Yeah, sometimes we run out of ideas on what to cook, right? So we want to be creative in our cooking. Okay, and also time saving, yes, because time is so precious. Everyone has 24 hours a day. So of course, time saving is important, all right? So can you type in the chat, all right? So which is the most important to you, right? And type in the chat and let us know, okay? So Thermomix is from Germany, all right? Our company, Forwec, has been around since the 1800s with over 135 years in history, all right? And we've won a lot of awards. Okay, we have world patents. We have 120 German engineers who actually designed the kitchen robot you're seeing here today. And there are more than 80 countries selling the Thermomix worldwide. Wow, that's amazing, right? Because it's such an amazing tool. So there's a lot of countries are also carrying this machine, right? This Thermomix, right? So it's your personal kitchen since the 1960s. So if you're wondering when was Thermomix born, it was since the 1960s. So the first model was a blender. Okay, as you can see here, it was a blender. And of course, being born in Europe, cold country, very common, they make hot soups and things like that. So then Forwec added the heating element so that people could make home cooked soups. And did you know actually Thermomix, when it was first invented, it was actually for making baby food. Yeah, because they needed to blend, to process purees and all. So it was actually born because of making baby food. Okay, and as it has evolved, right, today what you see here is the TM6, our latest Thermomix, which is the 9th generation. Okay, and did you know that one Thermomix is sold in every 23 seconds? Why? Because there's so many people around the world. We have 12 million users worldwide, and everyone can't wait to see a Thermomix cooking show. Okay, so every 1 second, every 23 seconds, one Thermomix is sold. Okay, and we have a well-trained professional team who will be able to guide you on how to fully utilize the Thermomix. Okay, so let's have a look at our wonder machine. So here, okay, what is this? This is called the Varoma. So the Varoma is a steaming tray here with 2 tiers, so you can actually steam 2 dishes at the same time. All right. Okay. So later we will explain further on how. And the materials used is BPA free, and we also abide to the European standards of plastic use. Okay, so it's BPA free, just like what we use in the baby bottles and all, and it is food grade as well. And all our materials are tested, okay, to meet the safety standards. All right, so no chemicals are actually leaked into your food. Okay, so this you have rest assured that all our products are good quality, all right? And of course, here we have the simmering basket. So what is this basket? This basket, you can use it as a strainer. You can also use it to steam small portions of food. So example, if you want to make baby food, right? You want to puree, example, you want to steam apple, vegetables in small portion. Instead of using the boroma tray, you can use this basket, okay? So the basket, you place the ingredients here and then you can steam it right in here, okay? And you can also use the basket for cooking rice. So for those of you who are looking at healthy rice, like a low GI rice, you can actually place in the grains here, wash your grains, and then fill up the water, all right? And after cooking, you use the spatula and you actually lift up the basket, all right? So why cook? What are the benefits of cooking rice with Thermomix? Because it can actually help you eliminate the starch. It will reduce the starch, right? Because the basket is, if you place the basket inside this mixing bowl, it's actually 3/4 of the bowl. So when you finish cooking rice, when you remove the basket, there's actually a thick layer of starchy water inside, okay? And that is actually starchy water, and when you consume starchy water, it's actually carb and also it's sugar, okay? So for those who are diabetic and those who want to lose weight, actually this is the best way of cutting down your carbs, all right? Okay, and this is a 2.2 liter mixing bowl, okay, 2.2 liter, and it comes with a mixing knife, which is a blade, all right? And everything you cook is in this magic pot and also with one blade, right? And it's stainless steel, fully stainless steel, okay? Even the mixing knife, right? The next accessory I would like to share with you is the butterfly. So for those of you who like to eat kaya, okay, can we see a show of hands who likes to eat kaya? You can type "I love kaya," okay, in the chat, right? Okay, so for those who are kaya lovers, those who love to bake, all right, you like to make your meringue, your ganache, your jams and all, you use the butterfly, okay? So the butterfly, all we need to do is insert it right on top of the blade like this. Very simple, okay? So you want to do your perfect egg whites to make your whipping cream and all, you will use the butterfly, all right? And okay, the next accessory I'd like to share with you is this lid here, and then we have the measuring cup, MC cup. Okay, so inside here you will see 50 ml and 100 ml marking. So this is, for example, when you want to bake, you can weigh your ingredients, you can weigh your milk, okay, in here, right? And here's a spout, so it's easy for you to pour as well. And this MC cup is always closed. It's used to close the mixing lid, okay, when it's cooking. And if the recipe does not require you to cover the mixing lid here, it will actually write remove MC cup. So sometimes you will see in the recipe, then you just remove the cover here. All right. And last but not least, our final accessory here is called the splash guard. All right, this is the splash guard. Okay, so when you're cooking at high temperature, you know, normally if you use your wok and you cook at high temperature, what happens? More oil, more grease, more sauces will be splattering all over the place, all right? So now with Thermomix, we have low temperature and high temperature cooking, so you can place this splash guard right on top here so that oil will not splatter, okay? So can you imagine yourself cooking in the kitchen without oil at all on the tabletop? So even after I cook curry, the tabletop, there's no grease, no oil, nothing, okay? And as you can see here, I'm going to be cooking the chickpea curry in a while, and I don't even have a kitchen hood here, okay? So you can have a beautiful, clean kitchen all the time, right? And very important is the motor, the heart of the machine, okay? So the motor is frictionless. It does not require cooling fan, okay? Because there's no heat generated, so there's no fan needed to cool down the motor, okay? And of course, the motor is German quality, and the RPM is from 40 RPM to 10,700 RPM, okay? So it's really fast and furious, okay? Right? And next, I'd like to share with you is our touchscreen is 6.8-inch touchscreen, okay? So it's actually larger than most of your phones, okay? Because the screen is huge here, so cooking is really easy. And to use the Thermomix is only 3 circles, so easy. Even a kid 4 or 5 years old can be cooking together with you, okay? Because it's so easy. As long as they know 1, 2, 3, they are able to use the Thermomix, all right? So the first circle is the time, okay? Second circle is the temperature, and third circle is the speed. So today during our cooking show, you will always hear us say time, temperature, speed, because it's always only the 3 circles, okay? It's that easy, okay? Right. So there are 3 options for you to bring a Thermomix home today. We have 3 options. The first option is full payment at 6,988, or you can go for our interest-free installment plan for up to 24 months, 2 years. Okay, so it's around about less than 10 ringgit per day, okay, which is very affordable for everyone. Yeah, you can't even buy coffee, you know, we talk about maybe Starbucks coffee. You can't buy Starbucks coffee for 10 ringgit. Yeah, and this 10 ringgit is not only for you, but your whole family can enjoy healthy homemade meals. Okay, and the third option is if you're interested to be a partner like me, you can also join our team and earn your Thermomix for free. Okay, so there are 3 options for you to own your Thermomix. Okay, so one Thermomix does it all. Okay, so there are more than 24 functions now and counting. Okay, so what does that mean? So right now there are 24 functions, but because this Thermomix TM6, okay, there's Wi-Fi, you connect to your Wi-Fi, and there's also a software update. So from time to time, when there are new updates, when there are new functions which are introduced to the TM6, it will be added just like your phone. Okay, so you need to connect to Wi-Fi, and then the new update will be stored in here. So you get new functions from time to time. So isn't it wonderful? Yeah, you pay 6,988 and you always get new updates, new functions. Okay, so it does not end at 24. Okay, it will have more and more coming up soon. All right, and so the Thermomix is a blender. You can chop your food. Okay, it's also a grinder, so you can actually grind your own coffee beans. It's also a kettle. You can boil water, and later we will explain further on each and every function. Okay, it's also a sous vide machine, right? It's a steamer, so you can steam, you cook, you can whip your cream. Mince, for those of you who mince meat, you buy mince meat, like you buy mince chicken, beef from the supermarket or the butcher. So when you get your Thermomix, you don't need to get that anymore because it can mince meat in 2 seconds. It's that fast, right? Because if you were to purchase from the supermarket and all, you do not know whether is their food processor clean, okay? So that's why it's best for you to do it on your own. Okay, and slow cook, it has a slow cook function. Emulsify makes heat, okay, because it's a heating element, so you can heat from different temperature. It's a precise temperature control. Okay, fermentation mode for those of you who like to make homemade yogurt. Okay, it has a pre-clean mode. Wow, okay, that is actually the best function I feel that Thermomix has ever invented, because most of the time we don't like to cook because we don't like to clean, right? But now it cooks for you and it also cleans for you. Okay, and next is stirring, so it will actually stir for you. So imagine normally when you're cooking over the stove, you're stirring all the time, but now your German helper will be stirring for you, and then you can go and do your things and watch TV, you know, spend more time with the kids, so you don't need to be stirring. Okay, and next is weighing. It has a built-in weighing scale, right? And knead, so kneading function, you can make your own homemade breads, you can make your own homemade pizzas and etc. And high temperature mode, so just now I mentioned you can do low temperature and high temperature cooking as well. And sugar stages, so for those of you who like children who likes to eat lollipop, you can actually make your own homemade lollipop, okay, with the sugar stages, because especially things with sugar, when you cook over the stove, it tends to burn. But with this sugar stages mode, you do not need to worry about burning your pot. All right, so imagine today we need to place 20 oven machines here. you would need a lot of space, right? Especially if you live in a condo, there's no space, you know. Where are you going to place 20 oven machines? So then what you need to do is just get a Thermomix, because 20 oven machines is all in one compact unit. And you use it for your breakfast, you make smoothies, you make fresh juices, you can do your muesli, even make your own soy milk, almond milk, and so forth. And you cook your quick lunch, right? You can do fried bee hoon. You can cook 400 grams of fried bee hoon in here. And then tea time, you want to eat some cakes, you know, you can make homemade breads. And then for dinner, if you do not have much time, you can always do the multi-layer cooking, okay, which is the 3-in-1 meal, right? So everything in here. Okay, so it's your perfect kitchen, okay? Even you can even cook as little as for one person. So if you're living alone or single, you can even cook as little as for one person. Okay, and of course, this is the best gift for newlyweds and those who are moving to a new place. You don't need 20 oven machines in your kitchen, you just need one Thermomix, okay? And it's great for bonding with your children. The kids can be cooking together, because I was cooking with my daughter, you know, we cook very often, and she even made her own homemade ice cream when she was 4, okay? And I would say that, you know, I feel that it's safe for her to operate the machine instead of cooking over the stove. She might burn the pot, or, you know, handling fire. So I'm not too confident about that. But with Thermomix, I can let her play around with the machine. Okay, so it's good bonding time with her. And elderly, okay, as you grow older, there may be some diet restrictions. You cannot, you know, eat certain things. You might have some allergies. So when you cook at home, you can control what you eat. Okay, so it's suitable for everyone, right? Okay, so today I'm going to be sharing a recipe, which is the chickpea curry. Okay, so this recipe is really easy, okay, and I will I want to share with you how easy it is to prepare, right? Let me just put this aside. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about low temperature cooking. Okay, so there's high temperature and low temperature, right? So low temperature, why? Because nutrients are preserved. You know, when you cook at high temperatures, the taste, the taste is different, of course, and of course the nutrients. What is very important is the nutrients. Okay, so now I'm going to go through with you the ingredients we need. Okay. Okay, so this chickpea curry, so for those who are vegan or for those who are on certain diets, healthier curry, so it is so easy to do, right? So I'm cooking with olive oil, okay? I have here brown onion, which is quartered. I have garlic here. Then I have turmeric powder, brown turmeric powder, some sea salt. I have chili powder here as well. And then here I'm using, these are chickpeas. So you can use canned or you can use fresh ones, the dried ones. So if it's the dried ones, you will need to soak it overnight, and then you need to pre-cook first for about 45 minutes to 1 hour, okay, at least, and make sure it is soft. Okay, or you can use canned chickpeas. Okay, but if you're using canned, I would suggest for you to go for organic brands. So right now there are a lot of brands which are available in major supermarkets. Okay, so and I have here homemade tomato sauce with some chopped tomatoes in there. So you can actually make your own sauces using our cookie dough recipes. Okay, so there are some recipes on cookie dough, which is our online recipe library. We have over 68,000 recipes in here, all built in and step by step. Okay, so you can actually go to cookie dough and look for a tomato recipe. So there's tomato paste, there's even like ketchup. You can even make your own ketchup at home. So a lot of the recipes can be found on cookie dough. Okay, so first I'm going to blend the raw ingredients, which is the onion and the garlic. Place it inside. Okay. And next, I'm going to chop. Okay, so it's actually blending inside and it's chopping the raw ingredients. So can you imagine you can blend your spices, you know, you can even blend things like herbs. Okay, you can even mill things fine to like powder. So you can do all this using the Thermomix. Okay, so I have chopped it. So if you want to chop it further, as you can see just now, the speed was about speed 5. So it's not too fine because I want the texture. I do not want it to be too fine. But if you prefer it to be very, very fine, you can actually adjust the speed. Okay, so you can control the speed from speed 0 to 10, depending on how coarse or fine you would like. Okay, so for those of you who are cooking curry, you know, Ramadan coming up, you know, you're cooking your curries, so you can actually blend it very fine. Okay, and next is I'm going to pour in cooking oil, this olive oil. So you can use cooking oil if you want, but for a healthy option, I'm using olive oil here. So I'm going to saute the raw ingredients for about 4 minutes. Okay. And the general cooking temperature is 120 degrees. Okay, and I'm going to saute at speed number 1. Okay. So let's have a chat. So what kind of oil, what type of oil do you normally use at home? Yeah, can you type in the chat and let us know what oil do you use? Perhaps you're using olive oil like me. Maybe you're using some coconut oil or vegetable oil. Okay. So for those of you who use healthy cooking oils like olive oil, so olive oil has a low smoking point. Okay, so it's not advisable for you to use it over high heat. Okay, because at high heat it is actually toxic and it's carcinogenic. Right. So because of the low smoking point. But when we cook with Thermomix, you can use good quality oils because we are using low temperature. Okay, so it will actually also help you to preserve the nutrients of the oils. Yeah, and what I really love to do is cook curries with Thermomix. Okay, it's one of the first few recipes I actually tried when I had my Thermomix, right? Because cooking curry is really a breeze, you know, and I can use very little oil. Because normally if you cook curry over the stove, you know, it dries up and then you will add more oil, just like frying noodles. Okay, you know, when you cook over the stove, you will add more oil. But with Thermomix, you actually use very little oil. Okay, so really excellent. And you can also use coconut oil if you want the flavor, the coconut aroma. So you can actually replace with coconut oil as well. Okay? Okay, and also I want to share with you is that as you can see, I'm not cooking in my kitchen. I'm actually right next to my dining table and there's no kitchen hood here. Okay, so normally when you put in garlic and onions, what will you be doing? You'll actually be standing and stirring, right? But now I do not need to be stirring. I can be, you know, preparing other ingredients, maybe set up the dining table. So I do not need to be physically standing and stirring while my Thermomix is cooking for me. Okay, so this is what I really like. Okay, and you can, you know, do your makeup. You know, you can even be cooking and actually doing your makeup, right? And you can look good. You know, you don't need to have curry splattering all over you, and then you can walk away and do other things. Yeah, so this is really a wonderful tool that everyone must have at home. Yeah, and look at the tabletop. It is white. My kitchen is white. Yeah, so I can be cooking in a white kitchen without a mess. Okay, because cooking with the traditional way, my goodness, the kitchen everywhere around the kitchen is curry paste and all the starters and all the sauces. Yeah, I can really smell aroma now. Love it. Okay, 1 minute more. Yeah, and also as you can see here, inside the screen, I have set 120 degrees, but right inside is only 95. So it actually gradually heats up, not like your wok. You know, once you turn on high, then it will really quickly, it will become like super hot. Okay, so it's different, right? With Thermomix, it gradually heats up. So I feel that, for me, I feel that this is really low temperature cooking, right? And it's really good. It doesn't burn, okay? It doesn't burn my food inside. Okay. So next, what I need to do is, after I've sauteed, my helper has sauteed the ingredients for me. I'm going to place in the chickpeas, and then the spices, okay, and then the tomato sauce here, all right. Okay. Smells really awesome. Let me just show you. Okay, you see inside? Smells really good. You can add in other spices. You can add in cumin if you want. You can. I mean, it's versatile, no? Because when you cook at home, you can add in anything you want. So I'm going to place in the sauce. Okay. And the chickpeas and all the spices, chili powder. Okay, I have the turmeric powder. If you want, you can even add in garam masala if you want. And I have some salt for seasoning. Okay, you can add in red pepper if you want. And I'm going to cook this for about 10 minutes. So this curry is only about 13 minutes in total. Sorry, around 15, less than 15 minutes in total. So, you know, sometimes if you do not have much time, you can prepare this ahead of time, and it's so easy to prepare. Yeah, and there's no meat whatsoever. Okay, so I'm going to cook this for about 10 minutes. And I'm going to cook for at 100 degrees. And next is reverse. So what is reverse? Okay, so one side of the blade is sharp. It will chop your food, all right? Once you have enabled reverse mode, it is using the blunt side of the blade. So what it will do is it will actually stir, okay? So if you're cooking anything with, you know, vegetables, meat and all, you do not want it to be chopped, make sure you press reverse, okay? So do not worry, the recipe will tell you, will guide you. So all our recipes will be stated there reverse, okay? So that you will not forget, right? And next is the spoon icon, which is slow stir. So what it's going to do now, 10 minutes, it is going to be slow stirring my curry for me. So imagine if I want to do traditional, I will have to be standing there stirring, watching the fire, waiting, and you know, to make sure that it does not dry up. So now I can actually walk away and do other things. And after 10 minutes, I will come and attend to my curry. Okay, so now it's slow stirring for me. All right, so I'll be back shortly. Okay, so now I'll pass on to the next presenter to show you the next recipe. Thank you, everyone. See you shortly.
Morning, everyone. Can you hear me loud and clear? Okay, so today we're going to do a moist steamed chocolate cake, which is really, really easy when you have a mix. Okay, so the recipe is in cookie dough, and it's called steamed chocolate cake with whipped cream. Right? So all you have to do is find the recipe, go to your cookie dough account, find the recipe, say cook today, and the recipe will come up, and you just go start cooking. Right? So it says insert butterfly whisk. Right? So we insert the butterfly whisk, and then next separate for eggs, whites, and yolks. 50 grams of sugar. So I'm going to weigh in 50 grams of sugar. So the Thermomix has a built-in weighing scale, which makes it really easy because then you don't have to weigh your ingredients out separately. We have, because we're doing this for your Zoom, but when you're at home, you can just weigh it out directly. So I'm just going to pour in 50 grams of sugar. Okay. And then next, insert measuring cup. Separate 4 eggs. Oh, sorry, I have to put the 4 egg whites in. That's what I thought. So we put in the 4 egg whites and the sugar. Okay, so next, insert measuring cup, and it's already set to 3 minutes, and it says turn to speed 3.5. So I'm just going to turn it to 3.5. When you use your butterfly whisk inside your Thermomix, make sure you do not go over speed 4. The maximum for your butterfly whisk is speed 4. Okay, so you have to remember that. Also, when you're using the simmering basket, also maximum speed you're supposed to use speed 4. Right? So just let me tell you a little bit about whisking eggs in the Thermomix. When we have the precise timing set, your eggs will get whisked to the correct consistency. So you never have to worry about your egg whites being over whipped, stiff peaks when they're supposed to be medium peak, etc. So if you're not an experienced baker, if you have a Thermomix, it's really, really easy to bake with your Thermomix, right? So while you're doing that, you could also maybe get your other ingredients ready while you're at home. So it saves you a lot of time, right? So I'll just share a little bit about what else you can do, which is fast and easy. Okay, so you can also knead breads in your Thermomix. The Thermomix has a far superior kneading mode compared to whether you use a bread maker or your Kenwood mixer. I still think the Thermomix does a better job because I have used a bread machine before and I have used a Kenwood to make breads. And the Thermomix kneading, the way it kneads is that it goes 5 times clockwise and 1 time anti-clockwise. Right? So you can make your own bread, you can make your own pizza at home now for your family. You can make pasta. For those of you who like pasta, make your own pasta at home. Pan mi, right? So you can also do your steamed mantou instead of buying out. You can have your mantou ready within 30 minutes. You can also knead your fish paste to make your own fish ball, right? And when you make fish paste and make your own fish ball at home, you know it's 100% preservative free. You don't have to worry at all, okay? So we've got just 18 seconds to go. Okay, so you just touch the screen to stop the sound and you go next. And it says remove butterfly whisk. Like a tap. And this is how your egg whites have been whipped. So you can see how it's been whipped. Transfer the whisked egg whites to a separate bowl. So I'm just going to take it all out. So it's so nice and fluffy and done just right in just 3 minutes. So when you're taking your egg whites out, you have to be careful. Do it gently so that you don't remove the air from the egg whites that have already been whipped. Try to keep it as fluffy as possible. Remove all the egg whites. Okay, and then we go next. And don't have to wash the bowl. Just put in 125 grams of dark chocolate, minimum 50% cocoa. Next, 125 grams unsalted butter. Insert measuring cup. And now it's going to melt the butter and the chocolate together at 70 degrees, speed 2. So the Thermomix is fantastic for melting chocolate. If you like making your chocolate cakes or your chocolate dessert and you haven't had to melt chocolate, usually before I had Thermomix, I would use the double boiling method or put it in the microwave. But the problem with putting it in the microwave is that you can over temper your chocolate. Okay, so chocolate, if you temper your chocolate in the Thermomix, you get a perfect temperature. And when you're doing like your chocolates, even for Easter, the new chocolates, you get perfectly tempered chocolate which sets properly and really comes out nicely when you do it in the Thermomix. So you never have to worry, you don't have to stir, you don't have to worry about your chocolate burning. So you just put it in your Thermomix, set it to the temperature, and if you want to take a peek, you can just lift the MC cover off and have a look. Okay, so I'm just going to stop it midway because some of the chocolate has gone up the sides. So you do want to check because it's on speed 2.5, so it is possible for the chocolate and the butter to go up the sides. And then just continue. It's so versatile, right? Because you can always check midway while you're doing something, and you can always open your MC and have a peek in and see how your chocolate's doing. So you don't have to worry, okay? Okay, so what else can you use the Thermomix for? I do a lot of baking. The Thermomix is perfect for kneading, as I mentioned, but also for chocolates, and it's great for mixing, whipping. If you do whipped cream, it's really easy to do it in the Thermomix because whipped cream is something that you can keep an eye on through the mixing hole, and you can get the perfect temperature when you're doing whipping. So here I have the rest of the ingredients, which is another 50 grams of sugar, the flour, and the egg yolks. And we just have to follow the steps. And at the end of it, you'll have a really beautifully moist chocolate cake. So to share with you, I have here an 8-inch baking tin, which I have greased, and I have put some flour on the side. And I've also lined the tin. And we have our varoma dish. So this 8-inch dish sits in the varoma and it doesn't touch the bottom. There is a little gap, so you don't have to worry. The holes at the bottom of your varoma are not blocked. So when you're steaming something, always make sure you put either a short chopstick or something to elevate your tin. Because if you end up blocking all the holes in your varoma, then there will not be sufficient steam coming through when you're steaming your cake or your fish or whatever you're steaming, and your food will not get cooked. So if you're steaming for half an hour, you will have an unbaked cake at the end of the half an hour because the holes are blocked. So you always have to make sure you do not block the holes at the bottom of your varoma dish when you're doing steaming. Okay, so try to get a low trivet or put chopsticks down. Okay, so we've melted the chocolate. It's really nicely melted now. Okay, then we just go to the next step. And it says insert butterfly whisk again. Next, add in the remaining 50 grams of sugar. Next, the 4 egg yolks. So the reason we did it at 70 degrees is also because we don't want to end up cooking our eggs when we put it into the cake batter, right? The 4 egg yolks. Next, insert measuring cup. And 3 minutes, it says turn speed selected to speed 3.5. Meanwhile, follow the next steps. So I'm going to turn it to 3.5. And then it says grease and flour your tin, which has already been done. So now for 2 minutes, it's going to whisk the egg yolks with the chocolate. And then we're slowly going to put in the flour and the whipped egg whites. So you see, if you whip egg whites in the Thermomix, it will not get watery if you leave it out. It just stays, it keeps its form and it stays. So that's the beauty of getting perfectly whipped egg whites with the Thermomix. How many of you like to bake? Can you put number 1? If you have never baked a cake or baked anything, a bread, put number 2. So if you have never baked, when you get your Thermomix, you must certainly make this cake. Okay, because it's really easy. You don't even need an oven. For those of you who don't have an oven at home, this is a really easy and simple chocolate cake that you can make. And it is so delicious because I have tried this cake and it's really, really nice. Okay, so for those of you who have tried making bread the traditional way, I I've been there before, so I have done mistakes with making breads, and breads have come out not hard. But ever since having my Thermomix, it has been so easy to make breads because I never have to worry. It's always done right. So I never have to worry about using my Thermomix when I make breads. Okay? Understand? It's so easy, just follow the steps. Even your 6 or 7-year-old could actually make this cake because they've already learned how to read by then. So we go next. So it says scrape down the sides. As you can see, it's splashed up on the sides. So we're just going to scrape everything down. It smells really delicious because of the chocolate. Next, we're going to put in the 100 grams of plain flour. And next, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So I've got the flour and the baking powder in. And next, the whisked egg whites. So same thing, lift it and drop it in gently so that you're not breaking all the air in your whisked egg whites. Insert measuring cup. And now it says just go to speed 1, 35 seconds. So it's going to do it gently because we don't want to break up all the air in your egg whites. It's mixing it beautifully. So the recipe now says to remove the butterfly whisk. Just take it out, remove all the batter, the whisk. You don't want to waste any of that chocolatey goodness. Light tap on the side. Don't bang it too hard because you end up breaking your whisk. Okay. Transfer into the prepared tin. So we're going to now pour this batter. So you can see it's a beautiful cake batter, right? We're going to pour it in. And after this, we just follow the steps and it's going to steam. I'm going to hand this over now to Ping Ping, who's going to show us the next recipe.
Good morning, everyone. realized that there are different things to it, and Ashley, Sneaker, and myself decided to have this Zoom done in the office recently. Every week when we were doing Zoom, we could only watch each other cook and, anxious to try the recipe, but couldn't because we were in different homes. But today we are gathered here together and presenting three wonderful recipes here together. And after that, we're going to enjoy savoring wonderful cooking together. So today I'm going to share with you how you cook curry with Thermomix, and we're doing something very authentic today, which is the Indian chicken curry. Yeah? So it's the real Indian chicken curry. So let me share with you the ingredients that we need. You can see here later on, I will actually post it to everyone. And if you want the recipe from your advisors, you can actually ask from your advisors and I will share with them, right? So first thing what we're going to do is we're going to add in 25 grams of cooking oil. Now, because Thermomix has very good temperature control, I can even use olive oil in my curry, okay? So I can even enjoy quality oil in my curry cooking. So I zero my weighing scale. I'm putting in about 25 grams of cooking oil. You can actually use coconut oil as well. It will turn out very nice and fragrant. Today, I'm just going to use olive oil. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add in all the spices. I have here the cinnamon stick, which is one whole stick break into half, so you can get the flavor out easier. And then I have the urad dal, mustard seeds, cumin seeds, fennel, star anise broken into pieces, cloves, and shallots, and some curry leaves here. So there's a lot of spices in this recipe. Brings out a lot of nutrients and goodness in the home cooking. Yeah? So it's all the natural spices. And here are my shallots and 3 whole sprigs of curry leaves, which I have taken out from this stem, and then just put everything in. All right. And we're going to saute. Okay. All right. Saute at 8 minutes. We'll go back to home. Okay. First circle, we'll be setting the time. We're going to set it to 8 minutes. 8 minutes. Temperature for sauteing is very easy. When you want to saute anything with the Thermomix, just go to 120. So it's very easy to remember. We go to 120. Steep for 2 minutes, usually for sambal, for chili paste, for 2 minutes, like how we do it on the wok. We want it to be fast so it doesn't stick on the bottom. It doesn't get burned. We go to steep 1. Can you imagine doing this on the wok before? Right? If you've done this before on the wok, right, what was the experience like? Right? You had oil inside, you heat up the oil, and then you put in your cumin seeds, your mustard seeds, your urad dal, your fennel seeds. What happened the moment the oil starts to heat up? Remember the days? It will start to pop and splatter around, right? And then you'll be all over your kitchen stove top, around the stove top. Oil splattering, seeds popping around. So in the end, you actually have to put more because a lot of it actually goes out of the stove and the pot. And the most tedious thing is that you have to stand there and cook. Is there any way that you can leave the stove and leave the wok while you're still sauteing all these spices? There's no way. And now you can just leave it. And today I can use olive oil safely. Why? Because Thermomix has this temperature we call low temperature, which specifically sets it at 120 and maintains it at 122 hours. So giving me a free of mind that my oil doesn't become toxic, doesn't get carcinogenic, it's more oil for you, it turns into bad toxic oil. And while it is cooking for me, fragrancing all my natural spices for 8 minutes, I can actually leave it and do my other stuff at home. For example, I can, washing the next dish, or I can be attending to my children, fun, or I can even be on the side doing some gardening, wonderful curry is cooked. And you can really learn all this. The moment you start to use the Thermomix, you realize, wow, there's a lot of hands-on that you can leave it to your wonderful machine, and then giving you better quality time, better lifestyle at home, not just for yourself, but for the entire family. Right? So this is what we call lower temperature cooking, maintaining at 120. With this temperature also, apart from maintaining the quality of the product, the ingredients that you cook will also be cooked at this temperature, allowing that there is no extra burn that will maintain the nutrients of the food. For example, if you buy organic vegetables, it's really great to cook at this temperature because you actually maintain all the nutrients at this temperature, right? And you will realize that at the end of cooking, the colors come out really nice and vibrant. Actually shows that the nutrients are not burned in the midst of it. Okay, so apart from your curry, you can do daily salted vegetable. You can do your sambal paste just like that. Right, so previously sambal paste, you got to blend it in a blender, or before blender time, you have pestle and butter, break them down by hand. And then after that, turn on the wok and then put on the oil, the peanut, put all your paste and pass your paste and spices inside. Things like splatter and painstakingly stick to the wok and continue to saute for 8 to 10 to 12 to 15 minutes. Right? And you're literally stuck. And now you can see it stuck. So while this is being sauteed, it's going to take another 4 minutes. I'm going to hands off to the next chef to share with you a wonderful tea recipe, right? Also an authentic Indian tea recipe, right? So I'm going to hands on the stage as well.
Everyone, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, so today I'll be making masala tea and I'll be using a cookie dough recipe. Okay, so cookie dough means it will guide you step by step until you get the perfect result. Okay, so whatever you see on the screen here, you can actually access the information from your phone and also from your tablet or laptop. Okay, so we're going to go up here and I'm really scheduled to do this masala tea today. All right, so I'll just go to my week. And then it will appear here. Okay, so you can do your weekly planning, your monthly planning even. Okay, so I have here chai masala tea. Just click on it. Okay, and just press start cooking. Okay, so before that, every recipe, if you scroll down, you can see all the ingredients and all the preparation. And don't forget to also read the tips. Okay, so here it says if you cannot find Ceylon tea, you can find other black tea, strong black tea like Assam. Okay, so just in case you don't have Ceylon, but I have Ceylon here today. Okay, and you can prolong the time by 1 minute. In step 2, if you like a stronger spice flavor. Okay, so just go up and then we go to start cooking. And then it says here, do you want to quit the active recipe because just now Sunita was doing the chocolate cake. So just press yes. Okay, and then it says here to add in. Okay, so it says here 2 cinnamon sticks, 2 cm each. Okay, so I have in here, so just place everything in. And just press next, 5 cloves and 5 cardamom pods. Okay, so I have in here. So just put everything in as well. Then insert measuring cup. So next, it already set the time for me, which is 5 seconds. There's no temperature because it's going to blend. And it says here, turn speed selected to speed 6. Okay, so ready? So means it's done. So just press next. So you can see it's not very fine, but I think this is just what it wants it to be. Just this kind of texture. Okay, so we need to add in 500 grams of water. So if the scale changes, just press the tare button and we add in 500 grams of water. Okay, so I already pre-weighed this, but if you're at home, you can just take it from your filter. Right? And then go next, 500 grams of milk. Then press next. And then it says 2 tablespoons of Ceylon black tea leaves or 4 Ceylon black tea bags. Okay, very easy. I have 4 bags here, so just put everything in. And then 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, adjust to taste. So I have here, I'm actually using raw cane sugar. Okay, so you can choose whatever sugar that you like. Okay, so just put everything in. And then 2 sentences cubed whole ginger, fresh slice. Okay, I have here ginger. So just if you don't like ginger, you don't have to put it in. Then go to next, insert measuring cup. Okay, so now it's going to cook for 10 minutes. The temperature is already set at 98 degrees. Okay, and the speed, turn speed selector to 1.5. Okay, so if you see, they have also highlighted the 1.5 here where you should turn it to. So just turn it, okay, to 1.5. Okay, so now it's going to cook, boil the tea until it reaches 98 degrees. Okay, so the good thing about Thermomix is you have all this temperature that you can set for your drinks. Okay, so my favorite mode, one of it is the kettle mode. Okay, so the kettle mode you can set from 37 degrees right until if you want to go even 100. Okay, so if you want to make your formula baby milk, okay, you can go at 37. Okay, and if you want to make your tea just like this, green tea, you should choose 75 degrees. Okay, so for your masala tea, you should use 98. Okay, and for perfect coffee is at 95, just before the boiling point, because we tend to use, we use our traditional kettle, which is 100 degrees and it's too hot. So you'll burn all the nice flavor of your coffee and tea. So make sure you try this mode when you get your Thermomix. Okay, try it at below 100 degrees. You'll enjoy really good tea and coffee. Okay. So the next one. This is another mode that we have. Okay, it's called the slow cook mode. Okay, up to 8 hours on reverse. Okay, so reverse means you are using the blunt side of the blade so you do not cut up your meat. Okay, so you have to try the beef stew, we have the braised duck, okay, braised lamb shanks, and red bean soup. Okay, so imagine someone is stirring your dish for continuously for 8 hours. Isn't it nice and very flavorful and juicy? Okay, so you want to try this mode first. We're not going to stand in front of the fire and stir it ourselves, right? Okay, so this is really wonderful. Okay, the other mode that we have is the fermentation mode. If you're really experimental, you like to experiment new things, try the yogurt using Thermomix. It's up to 12 hours, so you can start the night before and you wake up and you get new fresh of yogurt. Okay, so you can also make cheese. Okay, I love cheese. We have a lot of cheese recipes in Cookie Dough. Okay. And the last mode that I'm going to talk about is called the sous vide mode. Okay, this is my ultimate favorite mode. Okay, this is when you get restaurant quality food at home. Okay, so if you don't know, a lot of restaurants, they have sous vide machine at the back. Okay, and they have all the meat lined up in the machine, and then when you order your steak, for example, you ask for medium. Okay, so they will take out the bag of meat from the sous vide machine, and then they will sear it according to your requirements that you ask. Let's say medium, and then they will serve it to you. Okay, so the meat will be very tender, very juicy because you put everything in the plastic bag. Okay, it's like a water bath method, and then you cook at low temperature for a long period. Okay, so everything is contained in the bag. So make sure you get a BPA-free plastic bag. Okay, we have this brand Glad. Okay, that's a good. Just get a sandwich bag. Okay, so it says BPA-free and make sure it's microwavable. It's safe to use in the microwave. This is okay. Okay, so you put your meat in there, put your herbs, okay, put your spices, and then you cook it, okay, for a long time at low temperature. So you have to try sous vide method. Okay. So I'm going to let this cook for a while. Okay, it's about 6 minutes, 6 minutes to go. And then now I will pass it on to Bing Bing. Okay, see you later.
Okay. Right, can you hear the sound? The spices has been salting. It's really, really fragrant now. So you can ask Sunita and Enrica, can you smell the flavor? Can you see the spices has been salted inside? Right, you don't see there's burn. And the best part of all is that you don't experience splatter all around the kitchen top. Okay, and you can see also our entire environment here is plain white kitchen, and we've been maintaining this thing for past many years, cooking multiple recipes, a variety of recipes. So next, what do we do? Okay, I forgot to share with you about the marinated chicken. So I'm using here about four pieces of chicken leg and thigh. You know, the whole L shape. So if you like better flavor, you can marinate it first with a teaspoon of salt and 50 grams of curry powder. Okay, so I'm using the Baba's meat curry powder. So how do you weigh in all the ingredients? Just put the chicken in a container. All right, I have here close to 800 to 1 kilo of chicken, and then just turn on the weighing scale. Put in your 50 grams of curry powder with 1 teaspoon of salt. Mix it together and place it aside before cooking. Show the ingredients. Yes, just now that's what I was saying. Oh, okay. So I'll show you the ingredients again. And you could, if you're here just now, you could hear it sizzling, right? It's very nice fragrant aroma. And this is exactly what you can enjoy in the kitchen when you have the Thermomix. And do not need to worry about spending all around, being dressed up nicely, and cook curry at home. How wonderful is that? So the next step, after the spices has been sauteed, you want to add in the marinated chicken here. Okay, so you can do up to a kilo. You can also add some potatoes if you want to. I'm using the deboned chicken. All right, so for deboned chicken, you only need 10 minutes. Okay, on top of that, you want to add in 1 tablespoon of minced garlic and 1 tablespoon of minced ginger. So if you want to weigh them, it's about 20 grams each, right? 20 grams of each ingredient. Just pour them in. Okay. Next, we're going to add in the santan now, right? So here I have about 1 pack of fresh santan, 200 grams. I think you must be quite curious, right? And I was like, are you sure you're putting santan together? Usually, for curry, we put santan towards the end, right? I'll explain later. And then 100 grams of water to have more gravy, sauce, and 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm using here the organic sea salt. Okay, that's it. Just cover it. And because I'm using boneless, we will just need 10 minutes. Okay, just 10 minutes. If you're using chicken with bone, you will want to set it to 14 minutes. If you're using kampung chicken, you want to extend another 1 to 2 minutes, so 15 to 16 minutes. So today we're using bone, so I'm going to set it to 10 minutes. Temperature, because I'm just going to cook it in boil, you're gonna set it to 100 degrees. Now remember, there's a blade inside. So what happens when there's a blade cooking together with your ingredients? So we don't want it to be chopped. Thermomix has this special function called the reverse mode. And then we turn to spoon. Reverse meaning now, the blade goes in the opposite direction, using the blunt side to stir instead of chopping. So, Thermomix has this unique technology, which is nothing that you can find in the market. Okay, so that explains why Thermomix can have one blade that does everything for you. Whether you want chopping, blending, cooking, stirring, it's all dependable on one blade. Now, if you were to cook curry on the stove, first thing is you will add in the chicken, the meat to saute, spices, and curry powder, right? you will still be locked to your stove, right? You can't leave, right? Because or else it burns, right? And the other thing is that you wouldn't be putting your santan together. Why? Because as you cook, it will continue to heat up on the wok. You can't control. If you put santan too early, the santan will become curdled and your curry wouldn't look nice. But how come we could do it with the Thermomix? It is because we have a special temperature control. We are setting it to 100 degrees. So throughout the 10 minutes now, we are cooking at 100 degrees, stirring it at the perfect temperature. And we can also conveniently add santan in the beginning without having to worry that santan will become curdled, will be overcooked, and the curry will be nice. All right, so now the curry is being cooked easily 10 minutes, and I could leave my machine now and allow it to cook. Apart from low temperature cooking, Thermomix also offers high temperature cooking, the TM6. So for high temperature, you can also now explore sugar stages, right? Explore caramelizing, explore things like nut brittle. You can also go for browning of meat up to 160 degrees, giving you really nice fragrance in sauteing your meat. Okay, so you have a vast variety of alternatives now that you can try at home. All right, so we will move on to the hardware. We would like you to see the benefits of Thermomix. I hope you realize the benefits of Thermomix is really super. The lots of multiple benefits that we bring to you at home. So today, because you're here and observe the whole session with us, we saw how the curry chickpea was made. We saw how the silly Thermomix, after making the curry chickpea, turned into a cake mixer, your waste machine, and it's with some wonderful cakes for you. You can now explore baking. And then you could also go into cooking. You're doing cooking meals now with the Thermomix, right? Your morning breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, the simple sauteing of vegetables, up to the very advanced recipes like curry now, you can depend on the Thermomix. Okay? And tea, you can also explore what you drink at home. Apart from tea, you can also explore sorbets, explore ice cream, mocktails, cocktails, lots and lots of wonderful adventure to yourself. So everyone can cook. I never knew how to cook this curry. I actually learned this recipe from Sunita. So I learned it from an authentic user. Pass on the recipe to me. Without having experience, I can also make whatever you need, okay? And so will you. When you start to use the Thermomix, you will just ask you the recipes. You can immediately tell yourself, yes, I can do it too. Yes, I can bake too. All right. So we want you to really enjoy the cooking journey at home. Healthy cooking, without worry. Not worry, I can actually use quality oil. I can go for really good quality ingredients at home. Knowing what I put in my food for my family and my loved ones. And that's very important now. Right? You can now build better immunity by giving better nutrients to your loved ones. And then auto cooking has this cooking now, I'm cooking curry, but guess what? I am actually chit-chatting with everyone, with all of you, wonderful, pretty little guests on screen. And we are having fun together, right? You agree that fun together. And we are actually cooking together. Okay? Now, if you look at our kitchen, this is all you need, all in one, 20 functions, all built into the Thermomix. Right? You will never be experiencing cluttered kitchen again. After cooking, all you need to wash is one Thermomix, right? You're not ending up with many things to wash. Right? Blending will be here, the cooking will be here, the salting will be here, the mixing will be here, the egg will be here. And it continues, there's lots and lots more functions to explore. Goodbye to cooking you, and I can just stand here without worrying about you, without worrying about oil staining my clothes, and especially the smell making of my hair. Right? I have no such worries at all. Everything now is done in my Thermomix. Now, can you imagine how much joy you would have once you start to use the Thermomix? Now, how do you bring? I'm sure you're very excited to know how can I bring a Thermomix home, right? So we actually options for everyone. The first option is a full payment option. The price is at 6,988. So you can either go for full payment or you can also go for our financing. Our financing goes up to 24 months. Okay, and it's interest free. So we're going for 24 months. Why not interest free? It works out to only 9 ringgit a day. How affordable is that? 9 ringgit per day for your 3 meals and 5 meals, 7 days a week, 365 days. Healthy, happy meals for your entire family. Okay, so it is really one of the best investments ever made, and I hope that all of you will be able to have such wonderful cooking and enjoy cooking at home as well, not just 9 ringgit a day. Right? So at the moment, the company is extending this thermal server because Mother's Day is coming soon. The company is extending this special gift as your purchase hosting gift when you purchase a Thermomix. So what is the thermal server? See, after cooking my curry, I'm going to put it here. It helps to keep the curry warm for 2 hours before it's being served. And then I can relieve my Thermomix to do my next dish, my next recipe. Okay? So this is the specially designed insulated bowl. It is made of high quality stainless steel. And it is one piece, right? You see, there is a joint, it's one piece nicely created for you to keep your food either hot or cold. So you can actually use this to house your hot food, or let's say you want ice cream or yogurt, you wanted to look for a container to put your yogurt in, you can actually use this as well to put in your ice cream or yogurt, and you can actually put this in your fridge or the freezer. Okay, it also comes with a lovely serving tray and cover. Okay, the size is 2.2 liter, the exact size of the tea. So you can cook up to the maximum quantity of the tea. The entire cooking pan actually fit in this thermos. It's a very, very good accessory to have, okay, on top of the thermos. So you grab it soon. It is also one-stop runs. So it is based on first come, first served basis. As soon as you take the Thermomix, this will be reserved for you. It's called purchase and hosting because we need your help to share this wonderful Thermomix with your friends. You have to share some words with your friends. Just gather 3 to 6 friends to our wonderful Zoom, weekend Zoom or Wednesday Zoom, and you'll be able to play the Thermomix server immediately. Right? So remember to place the Thermomix and start cooking the Thermomix very well. Okay. So it also comes with when you purchase unboxing service. Today you're observing, understanding what it is. But when you get the Thermomix, maybe you're hesitant. Say, are you sure I can really know how to start cooking with it? Don't worry, because we actually have a personalized unboxing session with you. It may be if you are not, it is not convenient for us to come to your home. We can actually do a personal session, a WhatsApp video call or a Zoom call together to get you start cooking with your Thermomix, okay? But if you allow us to come to your home and go through, the unboxing video, we would love to do that. You can even select the recipe that you'd like to start to cook in your Thermomix. We will guide you on how to prepare the ingredients, and the moment you will be cooking, we will just be there to guide you along the way and start your cooking journey. Okay, so that is the unboxing journey that everyone will have. It will be at least an hour to an hour and a half personalized cooking session. Okay, because we want to ensure that you really get the best out of your Thermomix when you invest in the Thermomix. Okay? Also, there's something called the career program. Right? I think a lot of us know that Thermomix is a great machine, but we didn't know there's a career program behind. Right? And let's get into this first. So we have this career program. If you learn what Esri is doing today, what Sunita is sharing, how I'm sharing the Thermomix, you can actually join us and embark on our Thermomix partner program, where you can also, use a wonderful tool and share this joy with friends and family, and alongside earn a commission along the way. So this career can either be full-time or part-time, but trust me, it's a I didn't plan to do this, but I ended up, doing Thermomix now on a full-time basis and enjoying this wonderful career for close to 10 years now, right? So if I can do it, I'm sure all of you can do it too. Okay? Okay, so would you share what you've experienced today with your friends and families? I hope you would. Like today, I would personally like to thank all of you for coming up to support us. And we wish to have you share these words with your loved ones out there and bring warmth to our Thermomix family. And hopefully we would want to have this wonderful cooking that can be experienced by all these families out there. Okay, so my curry chicken is done. Let me show you how it looks inside. If you're here, you can really smell it. You just want to quickly cook some rice and you can actually enjoy this really fresh cooked curry together with your fresh cooked rice. Right? So it's really nice. Without steaming, and it's just done like that. Right? So share with your loved ones, friends out there who can't cook maybe. It would be wonderful if they can cook, right? Because of your sharing. Friends out there who are very busy, have no time at all. Now, with the Thermomix programs, they can find, they're confident that yes, they can actually start cooking well as well. Friends who are recovering from illness, yeah, it would be great if they can eat well and healthy, nutritious food, and then build their immunity and perhaps they can recover faster. Okay, friends who are chefs out there, if they are starting a restaurant, it is really a wonderful tool to have. If you have watched MasterChef competition, very often you see Thermomix being used by chefs. So it will be able to help them a lot in the kitchen in creating the sauces, the taste, or maybe your friends who can't cook but really love to cook. They invested in a lot of cookbooks, maybe attended lots of cooking class. Cooking class now are not cheap, right? They're quite expensive. But when they come back, they could not recreate what they've learned. And with Thermomix, you can be rest assured that whatever recipe that you have in hand, you can have 99 to 100% success. The 1% will be based on your taste, whether you want saltier, a slight tweak there for your family. Maybe you like it sweeter, or you can cut down sugar, you can cut down the salt. That's it, but the recipe comes up successful every single time. Okay, so remember to share this with your friends. We will now switch the screen to different chefs to show their final result. We will pass the screen to Olivia first for her chickpea. And Olivia, are you ready? We will switch the screen to Olivia. While I will be taking my curry for everyone to see later. The dish is not ready. We will switch to Ashley first to show the masala tea.
Everyone. Okay, so this is my masala tea. So I already stream some of the cardamom and the cinnamon in here. Okay, so let's pour this out. Smita next to me saying, tarik, tarik, tarik. You're here, you can really smell this masala tea. It smells so good. And it's so easy, right? It's just 2 steps. Okay, so you must try the masala tea. Okay, and Sunita is going to show you the cake.
So the cake is done. I'm just going to lift it out. It's really hot. So as you can see, we've got a beautiful steamed chocolate cake that's done in half an hour. Okay. The next step to this recipe is actually the ganache and the whipping cream. So obviously I can't put it on because the cake is still hot. So we have to wait for it to cool and do it, but just follow the steps on cookie dough and you have a lovely chocolate cake for tea. Okay, so on to Olivia to show her chickpea.
Hey, hi everyone. So the chickpea curry is ready. So you can serve it with naan bread, pizza bread, or also homemade breads. Yeah, so it's very easy to prepare, and I hope you will try the recipe when you get your Thermomix. Okay, have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you.
This is my curry. You could see it fits nicely here. 2.2 liter bowl. Right? It's really beautiful and it's really nice and fragrant here. If you are here with us, I hope to be able to share this with everyone too. But don't worry, when you get your Thermomix, you'll be able to cook this easily as well. We will share the recipe with you and you can also reproduce this easily at home. All right, guaranteed, okay? So remember to place your order for the Thermomix and we wish that every home will be able to cook well and eat well. Right, till we meet next time, we wish all of you stay home, stay safe, stay healthy. All right, remember to get your hands on your Thermomix. All right, till next week, we will see you again. Let's keep in touch. Take care.
See you all next week.
Bye everyone.